Today, I want to talk about how to build a daily plan that actually fits your life, not someone else's routine, not a Pinterest perfect schedule, but something sustainable and realistic.
You see, this your phone, it is not just for scrolling. This device is a productivity tool. You don't always need a complex platform. You don't always need a fancy application or a fancy planner. What you need is already in your hands. Take advantage of what you have now.
Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. In my last video, we spoke about choosing action over perfection, and one comment really stayed with me. Someone asked if I could make a video about daily planning and how to be more productive. And I thought this is such an honest request because let's be honest, guys, we do not struggle with planning. What we struggle with is sticking to the plan. So, today I want to talk about how to build a daily plan that actually fits your life, not someone else's routine, not a Pinterest perfect schedule, but something sustainable and realistic. There was a time I would create beautiful plans. It was usually structured, detailed, and organized. By Wednesday, I'd lost motivation. By Friday, I start feeling behind. And by weekend, I start to feel guilty. Honestly, guys, I thought the problem was discipline, but it wasn't. The real problem was that I didn't truly know my priorities. I was planning everything, but not planning what actually mattered. There is this saying that I always stand by that says, if everything is a priority, then nothing truly is. So, during one of my busiest months, where I had assignments, work, personal commitments, and so on, it was just so overwhelming. That was where I had to take a pause and rethink everything. So now, instead of planning daily without direction, I start to plan weekly first, and that was what changed everything for me. Here is what works for me and might actually work for you. I plan weekly and adjust daily. At the beginning of the week, I write down all what must be accomplished, be it work, personal goal, project, or whatever it may be. This gives me clarity. Then each day, I start to adjust based on my schedule, my energy, or what didn't get done the day before. I've got to realize that clarity comes during the week and flexibility comes from the day. After that, I then define three priorities. Notice how I didn't say 15 tasks or 20 tasks, just three priorities. Sometimes I think we feel overwhelmed because we have a couple of things written down. But here is the trick, out of all the goals you've written from the beginning of the week, pick out just three that you know that, if accomplished, will make a week productive for you. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed, not because we are lazy, but because we are just feeling anxious. So, sticking to three priorities per week out of all your goals will make you feel less overwhelmed. The next step is very important, guys. I cannot emphasize how crucial this step is to me. Always do an accountability check. So, this is how it works. At the end of the weekday, this is before the weekend. I always check within myself. What did I finish? What did I skip? Or what needs to be moved to the next week? I always do this without shame, without judgment, just adjustment. And here is another rule I always stand by. If momentum breaks, I make sure it doesn't happen 2 days in a row. This rule alone has helped me from spiraling.
Lastly, guys, take advantage of the tools you already have. You see, this your phone, it is not just for scrolling. This device is a productivity tool. Take advantage of your notes app. Use your calendar, reminder, and voice notes. Sometimes I quickly get out my phone to jot down ideas. This is because I do not want to forget them. And also, most of the time, my notebook is always in my bag, and sometimes my bag is always far away from me. I think we always overlook these things we already have because we do not know the value that they possess and how important they are. You don't always need a complex platform. You don't always need a fancy application or a fancy planner. What you need is already in your hands. Take advantage of what you have now. And here is what I have learned so far. Productivity without direction is just business. Because before I plan my week, I always pause and ask, what truly matters in this season? Look, a toddler mom can never plan like a single university student. A full-time 9 to 5 worker cannot plan like a remote part-time worker or even a full-time content creator. We are all in different seasons, and your plan should reflect your life, not someone else's routine, not someone else's highlight reel. Let's learn to plan realistically.
Maybe you're not inconsistent, you are just overwhelmed. You do not need more pressure, you need clarity. Because clarity builds structure, and structure gives you peace of mind. If this video encouraged you, I would love to hear from you. What is one priority you are focusing on this week? Drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!